Next thing you know, I'm getting a call to Nicolas Cage's house.
Hey, B.
What's up?
Sorry about that. I mean, they get you mid-drink.
Okay.
But
it's okay. Mid-drink's okay.
I think we got a couple questions.
Right? I love questions.
One's from James.
Okay.
He asked, what would we do different in our career if we could go back and change something? Would you do all your time in patrol? I know you tried the academy for a minute.
Yeah. That's a big question. That's a tough one. I always looked at it as every time I kind of wanted to do something,
timing, right?
I kind of didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
At the same time, like I wanted to do stuff, but then I didn't, because you can get comfortable, which is a bad thing. If you get too comfortable for too long. But I always felt like being in patrol for me was like doing God's work. I always felt like I was trying to always make a difference in someone's life every day, trying to make them see the good side of police, try to make people see that police aren't all bad and we're not all cocky jerks and this and that.
But that's an uphill battle every day. It's
a winless uphill battle. But I always thought if I could make a difference in one person's life every day, to me that was a win.
Yeah.
Saving a teenager, who's going down the wrong path, which I think I saved a bunch of teenagers. I know I saved at least one, because that was the one I put his head through the living room wall. The fight
gang member.
The gang member, yeah, and he came back a while back later and said I was right on everything.
Yeah,
I knew I was because.
Yeah.
But differently. Oh man, like I really.
It's hard to say because I enjoyed my career.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
was
every aspect of it, I enjoyed it.
Being in patrol was so nice because you got to do something different every night. Like every night, the weather's different. It's just there's a different feeling in the air on Fridays and Saturday nights, which I loved.
You had a variety of work. You go to SAM 6 area where it's kind of calmer.
Yep.
Right. You go SAM 1 where you got shit happening. Right.
Yeah.
You got SAM 2 where you can go hunt.
You go hunt, go down to Paul 4.
Right. So there's a plethora of things. How you felt that night, right?
Right.
Like if I take it easy tonight.
Yeah. Like if I felt like dealing with crackheads, I'd go down to Sam 1, right in the area down by Trop and Valley View area.
Yeah.
Right. But then if I want to, next thing you know, I'm getting a call to Nicolas Cage's house up in Spanish Hills.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
But that happened to me. You know what I mean? I got to go to his house. I've been to so many famous people's houses. It's cool. It's different. Yeah. And if you're not out on the street, you don't get to do that. Like I've been to Floyd Mayweather's house a bunch of times. Been a bunch of, not for bad things, for good things.
Yeah.
But
Did I ever tell you I tested for sergeant?
Did you?
Let me tell you this quick story, okay?
Okay.
So Carmen Donegan, great boss.
Carmen, yep.
Right. She goes, hey Gonzo, you need to test for sergeant. I said, nah, I'm not ready. I'm having too much fun. Like we're talking.
Yeah.
So at 4 o'clock in the morning, she says, come to the office. So I go to the office and she slides this big old stack of papers and books. She goes, I printed out everything you need to know about being a sergeant. Oof. You got 4 months, plenty of time. You need help, let me know. You need time off, I'll help you. Right?
Okay.
I took that stuff, threw it in my trunk. Go to work, right? 4 months go by and she goes, Gonzo, what are you doing here? She goes, I'm working. So your test is tomorrow. Go home, review your notes. What notes? I didn't even crack a book. Right? So she goes, I'll take a day off, right? So I go home. I said, let me take a test just to see what it's like.
Right.
So I go up there. There's like 400 other people taking the sergeant's test.
Right. Yep.
So I'm taking the test. I feel pretty good about it, right? Mm-hmm. I take it up to the Scantron. There's 2 ladies. Yeah. One greets you and she's talking to you, says, hey, listen, there's going to be a rebuttal session after we get done grading. So if there's a question that you have that could be yes or no, we can correct it. So she slides my Scantron over to the other lady, and I'm watching through my peripheral vision.
No need for any rebuttals on this one.
Right. She writes an 85.
85?
85.
Nice.
I didn't even fucking study, bro.
Nice.
85. And she gives it to me, turns the test around, it's a 58. I read it upside down. She goes, are you going to come back to rebuttal any questions? Well, I'm not going to rebuttal 30 questions.
I can refute 1, not 100. 58. Okay. That's good job for not studying.
Exactly.
85 would have been better.
I told Carmen that. She goes, that's better than some of the sergeants that are sergeants now when they took the first test.
yeah,
So that was my experience of being a sergeant for a day.
yeah. I like looking back at my career. Like, I wish I would have promoted. But when you promote, you're not a cop anymore. It's not the same. In America, I'll explain it to you real quick. If you're on on the street,
Rubber hits the road, buddy.
if we're not on the street, or when you're out on the street, you deal with a plethora of calls, a very eclectic group of people, and every night can be very different.
Yeah.
And when you promote, you're no longer on the streets. You're only in charge of like 10 other cops.
Yeah.
And you could drive around the streets if you want. I mean, you could be that annoying sergeant who calls out stops all night and you have your guys just follow you around and be your jail bitch all night. You could be that kind of sergeant. You could be a good sergeant who just stays in the office and get out of our way.
Admin stuff.
Yeah, admin stuff, and let us go do our job. But I know I would have missed the street. I think I would have been a good sergeant, but I really loved being out on the street. And I would say God puts me where I'm supposed to be. And that was for me.
Yeah.
Was out on the street for 22 years.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I loved it, man.
Yeah.
And then you also get to help the young cops too. You get to teach them.
Well, that's what we were
trying to
FTOs.
mold them. And that's why we were FTOs for like 10 years. It's to mold them and to teach them not to be jerks to people, not to be, to be decent.
Have a little bit of patience.
And remember that we protect and serve.
Yeah. One thing being a sergeant though, I mean, when you're out on your own, you're responsible for yourself, right?
Right.
When you're a sergeant, you got 10 to 12 guys that could take your stripes away.
Yes.
Because they did something stupid.
Right.
And that's a liability that I didn't want to have.
Me neither.
So,
right. Especially nowadays, sergeants, like I'm your sergeant. You go home on the weekend and get a DUI. I get in trouble as his sergeant.
Yeah.
That has happened here in Vegas in Metro. How is that even humanly possible that I can get in trouble because this grown man went out on the weekend and got a DUI? But yet nowadays, you're supposed to know everything about everybody's life. And to me, that was even a bigger, like, hell no, I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And when you go even higher, lieutenant, captain, deputy chief, now you're just in meetings. Like meetings and going out to lunch and breakfast.
Shit rolls downhill too when you get up there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying they don't work. They're not on the streets. They're not bleeding and sweating. You're chilling in an office.
They're not out there making butt butter, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're chilling in an office. You're not even thinking about crime anymore. And that's not me. I'm a grunt.
Yeah.
I'm a grunt. I'm a foot soldier. I like being out in the fight, in the mix.
Yeah.
Could I lead? Sure. But if I led a whole group, I'm going to still be in the front.
Right.
Because a true leader, to me, leads from the front.
Yeah.
Not from 10 miles away.
Right.
That to me, that's a coward.
Yeah.
If you saw Jocko Willenick, he was leading a team of SEALs. He's not going to be far away. He's going to be in the front where a good leader should be.
Yeah. Lead by example.
So to me, I was a leader out on the street. Most of my time at Enterprise, I was one of the senior guys. Yeah, but I mean, my last couple of years there, I was the senior guy at Enterprise. So people look up to you. Like Sebastian's always paid me, gave me a lot of respect and a lot of kudos, helping mold him. So you don't get to me, you don't get to do that as a supervisor. And you kind of lose feel for police work.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does.
You kind of lose your street sense and your street smarts. And I've always been street smart.
You have to have a little street savvy, that's for sure.
If you're not out on the street, you're going to lose your street smarts.
Well, I tell you, I came from the mean streets of Idaho, dude. When I came down here,
potato land.
It was a reawakening.
Up there.
It was a different culture shock, dude. I'm telling you, when I came down here,
of course,
and became a cop, I'm like, God damn, what's happening here?
It's a great town,
right?
Yeah.
So,
and me being from Philly, when I came here, it was awesome. It was awesome. But so I don't know if I would do anything different. I really wanted to go to SWAT early in my career.
But every cop does.
No, there was a lot of guys that didn't want to go to SWAT. Yeah, there was a lot of
everybody
guys
that I want to go to SWAT.
Well, because you have a lot of fun. I mean, you think you have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law's in SWAT. He's been there for 7 years, and it's 99% training, 1% fun, and then back to 99% training. But again, that's part of the job. I just at that time when me and my buddies and they all went to SWAT, we're training to go to SWAT. My daughter got sick. My first daughter, she ended up having to get a liver transplant, and it was
big to do.
It was hell on earth.
Yeah.
And so that took me out for like a year.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, if you want to go test for SWAT, go. I'm like, I've been sitting in a hospital room for 80 something days.
Yeah.
I haven't trained. I can't, there's no, and mentally, my daughter's here dying. I can't.
You're spent.
So that, and then in that time, we had more kids, and I said, you know what? This is, my wife needs a husband, and my kids need a father more than LVMPD needs
a SWAT operator,
another SWAT operator.
Yeah.
And I've said this to plenty of officers. You don't have to have a SWAT patch on your arm to be a bad motherfucker. Bleep.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't.
Good one.
So.
Thanks, James, for the question. Appreciate it.
James, thanks for your question. I think that kind of sums up for me. I mean, I don't know about G over here, but I think both of us enjoyed our careers.
I was a company man all the way.
It was fun being a street cop, and I wouldn't have changed it for anything. So if I could go back, no, because then I wouldn't have done everything that I've accomplished, and I wouldn't be sitting right here today with Gonzo.
Yeah.
Had we done other things. So we are where we are supposed to be.
Thank you.
And we had a great career. But that's a great question. Thank you. If you have any questions, send them to ask@LBCopsTV. You can send in a video question now. You can send in an audio question. So if you would like to be seen on our video, send in a video. We'll hit you right back here on video.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, get your butt down to Zangief Jiu-Jitsu and get it whipped. Good for you.
Yeah.
I don't see you there. Whatever. I don't see
bones.
you there either.
We got brittle bones, buddy.
Yeah. Pussies. Anyway, thanks for watching.
And for those still serving, have a safe tour duty.
Make a difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
Always.
1 Sam 5 and 1 Sam 6, copy of 425 call.
Copy. 1 Sam 5 en route.
1 Sam 6, copy, en route.